Hello everybody. We're going to make the easiest pumpkin pie available, okay? I tell you the truth, this pumpkin pie is absolutely dynamite. It is really the best, and I'm not just saying that. It really is. You know, I remember a couple of years ago my brother bought a pumpkin pie from Publix, and you know, I got to tell you, if you've had real pumpkin pie, Publix does not even can't even stand up to it. You know, they skimp on their spices. You know, spices aren't cheap, so they skimp on them, and I gotta tell you the truth, it was terrible. So the year after that, I made a pumpkin pie for him and brought it over there, and oh man, it was such a difference. What it is, it's the seasoning that makes the pumpkin pie. You know, pumpkin pie is basically a custard pie. That's what it is. It's a custard pie with pumpkin. So, you know, if you don't add the right amount of seasoning, you're going to get, you know, a pumpkin, you know, flavor custard, basically. You know, that's what it is. So anyway, we're gonna do it here. We have the right seasonings. Here's what you need. You need cinnamon, ginger, nutmeg, and ground cloves. Those are the four spices that you need. Then you're going to need 3 eggs. All right, there we go. Okay, now we're going to add 1 pound of pumpkin. You know, it's funny, the cans that you buy in the store call for 1 pound, but the cans in the store-bought pumpkin, it comes in a 15-ounce can. Well, you know, every single recipe I've ever seen calls for 1 pound, which is 16 ounce. All right, so the 15-ounce can, you know what I mean, you still need 1 ounce of pumpkin. But what you do is, don't worry about it. Just make it anyway with 15 ounces instead of 16. All right, this is a 16 ouncer. What I did was I bought a big can over here, and I knew I could weigh out, you know, 1 pound of it. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to freeze this. I'll put it in a Ziploc baggie, and I'll freeze the extra. Now what I'm going to do is, you know, maybe someday I'll decide to make something out of pumpkin, or you can add pumpkin to your soups. You know, it's good in a lot of soups. Vegetable beef, it's good in lentil, it's good in bean soup. You know, you can add, you know, you don't go crazy and add a whole bunch. You add just a little bit, and it's really good in soups. All right. So anyway, here we go. Now we have the eggs and the pumpkin mixed. Okay, nothing to it. Okay. Now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk, and I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Now look, the heavy cream is optional. You can use just milk, but I had heavy cream left over from the other day when I made the strawberry things. You remember that? The strawberry, whatever those were called, I don't know what they're called. Alright, anyway, so that's what I'm adding now, is 3/4 cup of milk and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. Okay, I mean, this is really simple. All you have to do is mix the stuff. You know, measure and mix. That's all you got to do. I even, for this recipe, for today, I even bought a pre-made pie crust. It's going to show you how easy this is. Alright, now we need some sugar. Okay, so what we need is a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of white sugar. But I'm not going to use white sugar. I'm going to use stevia instead. Alright? So it's a 1/2 cup of brown and a 1/2 cup of white. Alright? Okay, there we go. That goes in. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, Okay, what I like to do is I like to add the spice to some portion of the sugar. And the reason I do that is because sometimes the spice has lumps. So if you add it to the sugar, you can knock the lumps out. All right, so here comes 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. The spices are very easy to remember because it starts out as 1, then it goes to a half, then it goes to a quarter, then it goes to an eighth. All right, so it's 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, a half teaspoon of ginger. There you go. You see how I cut the foil on top of the jar? That way you can get a nice smooth, you know, a half. You know what I mean? You flatten it out as you pull the spoon out of the thingy. Okay, then a quarter teaspoon. Wait a minute. Then a quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. All right, and then an 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves. Now I don't have an 1/8 teaspoon as a measuring thing, so I'm just going to use the quarter, and I'm going to fill it up halfway. There, just like that. Okay. All right. Okay, now you mix these up in here with the sugar, and that way you're making sure that there is no lumps in the spice. Sometimes the spice gets lumpy. All right, this way you're not going to have any lumps at all. All right, there we go. That's the rest of the brown sugar and the spice. And now we just mix it and it's done. That's it. I tell you, this recipe, believe me, this recipe is dynamite. You're going to have a real nice spicy pumpkin pie. That's all it takes. Okay, now let me show you a little trick here with your pan. Take your pie pan and spray it a little bit. You can spray it with oil or you can grease it. I mean, you can brush it with oil, either way. But it does help the bottom brown. Plus, you know, nothing will stick to it. But it comes in real nice because it'll help the bottom of the pie brown. Alright, now, I've never used these things. I assume they taste pretty good. I don't know. You know, I was going to make pie dough, and then I thought, no, wait a minute. I'm going to show you the easiest way to make a pumpkin pie. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, and we'll just kind of smash this stuff up around the crust. Oh, by the way, the oven is preheated now to 350. The oven is on and it's preheated, so it's ready to go. Now see, look, when you do this to the crust, people are going to think you made it homemade. Because it looks homemade, you know? All right. See, normally if you use sugar, you don't have to beat it this much, but I do see a couple little lumps of the stevia hanging around in there. And I want to get rid of them. Okay, there we go. Whoo, mama! This stuff is great, man. I love this pumpkin pie. In fact, I'm going to have to give half the pie away because I'll eat the whole thing. I just invited my neighbor in yesterday to show her that the place is clean, and it's, you know, I use a lot of bleach on everything, and there's no danger of getting sick or anything else. So if I give her stuff, I want her to know that everything is safe to eat. In fact, I gave her some of those strawberry desserts I made the other day, because I mean, if I would have kept them here, I would have eaten every one of them, and that would not be good. Okay, so let me put this in the oven, and that's it. I mean, it's just that easy. Now to check it when it's done. Okay, if you want to know when they're done, when the pie is done, after about 50 minutes, stick a toothpick or something in the center. If that item comes out clean, the pie is done. That's all that's to it. So, you know, the outside edge is going to be puffed up from the eggs. The inside's not going to puff up as high as the outside. All right, so anyway, happy Thanksgiving. Okay, here you go. This is the pumpkin pie. Now listen, it takes about 50 minutes to an hour to cook it.